All right, guys, I got the end result for you finally. 22 van Sprinter cargo, 170. Wanted to put the crew seat in it because I got the crew windows and I like the crew vans. I had one before, just couldn't find one. Didn't think it would be that big a deal to put this seat in, but they, as you know from my previous videos, they did not reinforce the floor, so I felt a little sketchy about the thinness and weakness of the floor. So finally got my plywood back in, my brackets went in, and thank God the seat locked in properly. I still got my foam padding. It's like a 1/2 inch thick stuff to help deaden sound and keep it clean and do the moto thing on top of it. But as you can see, this is a 24 seat, brand new, and you can do this at actually a profit if you're careful or work hard at it. So long story short, I bought a brand new set of seats out of a passenger van, 3 seats. And these are recline, the good ones, leatherette, and 2 recline, 3 passenger, 1 4 passenger non-recline. And I bought them for $2,500, and I sold 2 of the seats off for $2,900. So I was up $400 in profit. Therefore, I had plenty of money. Well, I spent $500 on these brackets, which I cut back, and I can still sell the other half of the brackets. So I'll probably recover some of that money. But I talked to the gentleman that was a van redoer, high-end van builder, and it was about an hour and a half away, but he had a free headliner and a free panels for a 144. Now I was going to try to throw the headliner in here and just buy the extra panel for the 170, but it had the AC hole in it too. I didn't really know what it looked like, and I didn't want to waste his time because he was giving it to me for free. So I drove up and picked it up. Long story short, I sold that stuff for $700. So my profit was $1,100, and I got a free seat, less my rails. So $500 for the rails. So that left me $600. Nuts and bolts, I'm going to say, and steel, probably around $100. And I'll be able to sell those brackets for probably $200 to $300. So anyway, I'm profiting to put this seat in. I don't know, it's probably going to be $300-400. Now, it wasn't enough money for my labor, but I'm super slow, and I'm worth about $3 an hour. No, I'm meticulous in many ways, but as you know, I did a lot of reinforcing. I'll show you quickly. It's going to be hard to see because of the darkness of things. I sprayed everything, but 1/4 inch angle iron, 2 bolts, 1/8 inch with some angle on it, single bolt for the front. That's like over 12 inch piece, and that's over a 2.5 inch piece, over 2 foot piece, over 2.5 foot piece. And then, as you know, I got my one back there. That's 11 inches, 2 bolts. And then the other side, I did the cubbies, as you know, or the access holes, which I'll show you real quick. I have to say these were a pain in my butt to put together, harder than I thought they'd be to get so that's all access hold there and access hold there. And I just put some extra sound deadening in. I'm going to plug those holes with some grommets, probably right here. But I didn't want to mess with the tank. So I've got 2-inch washers on these guys. All lock nuts, all grade 8 bolts. I don't anticipate much of a tear out on this thing. Even in a decent accident, I believe the seat's going to stay put. I may collapse the frame rail a little bit. But I've got an over 2-inch, 1/4 inch angle iron, keeping that rigidity, and I switched to that 1/4 inch angle iron because I wanted that stiffness of the angle provided. As you know, my 1/8 inch with small angles had a bit of flex in it over distance, so I'm supporting the frame a bit heavier. So anyway, I'm really happy with the way it came out. It's solid as a rock, and like I said, I got lucky that it clicked in. I also put a lot of sound deadening under here, that butyl matte stuff, so the whole area that I could access up to that trim piece is got the butyl matte in here, solid. I didn't just do sections of it, I did it solid. And I did insulate a little bit behind the seat belt, a little bit of Thinsulate and a little piece of butyl stuff, just to kind of deaden any sound up near my head, I put some thin slate in here. The seatbelt thing, I have a video for that. That's a little tricky, but it's not too bad once you see the video. You have to mate this thing back in so that it continues to work. But okay, so beautiful seat. I'm happy with this thing, and like I said, it's in here like a tank. You could have, like I said, I'll be putting motorcycles up against the back of it. I put the wheel right here, right there, and then I tie down to these rings here, these rings. And I am going to add, because this is my weakest point by the gas tank, and I've only got a 2-inch washer on the skin of the floor there, I'm going to add a safety strap that goes to my D-ring, like I mentioned. There's a huge beam on this seat right here. It's like a tubular beam, all welded in. I'm going to run like a seatbelt safety hook right to there, so that if this were to attempt to lift off in a twisting action, I would hold down by the tie down as well. So I'd add another 1,000 pounds probably of tugging pressure, tear out protection. But I hope this helps you guys. All my crazy videos and a little bit long-winded maybe, but I definitely think you need to go heavy steel, and you need to reinforce the skin and get into the beams. I do like the idea I had in my last video of putting inserts inside this beam to protect the beam from collapsing, and or go to the real steel companies that have the big 3-inch angle iron, 1/4 inch or more, and throw a hunk of that on there. I think that's it. I appreciate any likes and subscribes. I hope this helps you guys. Give me a holler if you have any questions. I'm just hoping this thing's a little quieter, and I am actually going to plug these little holes with some foam, solid foam that I cut out, just because I don't want any noise traveling up out of that hole, both of these holes. And you can see I primed the lip a little bit with some blue tape and primer, just so I didn't have a raw cut, so it looks kind of pretty. And my mat goes down over this, so I'm going to just cut small slits in my mat so that I have the mat covering this as well. So hopefully I'll drown out any sound. And that's also why I did spray a little heavy on the sound deadening material underneath / undercoating, because I was just kind of spraying the beam area where these are direct metal to metal, a little bit heavier. But yeah, I'm happy to have the recline, and it is a great looking seat. I'll probably put a cover on it to protect it, and I don't really like sitting on vinyl. It gets kind of hot. So again, take care guys. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe. Hope it helps. Bye.